Good morning. It's me, Michael Thrax. We're back.
You know it's morning for them, Mike.
We're back with the Neon Nightcast podcast. I think that's a fair guess, right? You got 3 times a day. I got a, 45% chance of being right? Not even 45%. 35?
Do you even know math?
35.
33.
33. There you go. Whatever, man. I don't give a shit. We're talking about We're Back, a dinosaur story? No, I'm kidding. We're talking about Billy and the Clonosaurus.
We're ever going to do We're Back, a dinosaur story?
No. Anyways, I forgot to introduce you guys, too. So, I'm joined, like always, with Garrett Zagri and Eric Dr. Soybean.
Thank you, or as I like to call you, the Chris Lowe to my Neil Tennant.
Eric, did you like my Simpsons reference?
I did. I love Billy and the Clonosaurus.
Billy and the Clonosaurus. We need to get Eric to watch Simpsons so we can then do a podcast on the Simpsons.
But that's a whole new
Simpsons
ball
just,
game.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's hard to get into. You guys keep telling me what seasons to start with.
Too.
But I don't know how much sure I can get into it.
Dude, it's like the funniest show ever made.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it is.
Classic Simpsons, like seasons 3 through 9 or so, is like the pinnacle of comedy.
Pinnacle.
I don't know if it deserves that much credit.
Oh, it does. It
I
really
think y'all
does.
I think y'all just hype it up because it has a lot of nostalgia factor for you guys.
I'm sure that's part of it. It definitely is. It definitely is nostalgic, but I don't know. It's the type of comedy that it's extremely quotable, and they just don't make comedy like that anymore. They don't make satire like that anymore. Like satire these days is so like lowballing. It's just like the easiest, simplest jokes, and they only attack one side. Whereas classic Simpsons doing satire, it was like they would attack the ridiculous parts of both sides of whatever it was they were addressing.
Honestly, though, like I'd be interested in rewatching season 2 to 9 and just to see if I thought it was as good as I think it is.
As you remember it being.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, we're not talking about The Simpsons. We're talking about Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is a movie. It was first a book. The book was 1990, and the movie was 94?
93.
93, yeah.
And I think the book was actually 89.
It was from what I saw, it was 90.
Okay.
It's a movie / book about a billionaire that decides he finds he finds mosquitoes in amber that has the DNA of
dinosaurs that they suck their blood of.
Yeah, and they mate that, or they fuse that with frogs, and they make dinosaurs, and then they want to make an amusement park.
Well, why do they fuse it with frogs? Doesn't
it's explained because it's like their DNA is similar, though I think that's completely wrong now. And
because like velociraptors are just chickens that are like primordial chickens.
Back in the day, they thought they were more reptilian than they are avian.
Yeah, it's based on the science from the late 80s, early 90s. So
this
obviously,
movie has aged
some of those
terribly.
Terribly.
Actually, I would say this movie has aged fantastically, simply for the fact that how often do you get CGI in a movie that's barely aged 20 plus years later?
So this billionaire decides to invite it's 2 archaeologists. Paleontologists. Sorry, I don't know my ontologists.
A lawyer who represents investors in the park, and
chaos theory.
Chaos theorist, the best character, Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. Jeff Goldblum. And so they all go to the island to see it, test it out, and then nothing can possibly go wrong, right?
Of course not.
So yeah, no, it's a great movie. It was groundbreaking at the time. Just my short little rant here. Yeah, like Eric says, the graphics still, well, some parts are a little dated when it's fully CG stuff, but all the practical stuff is amazing. There's all this. I just read a bunch of stuff about it. Spielberg, who produced it, he was also making Schindler's List while doing it, while producing fucking Jurassic Park at the same time. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that would be pretty rough. Going from this movie that's talking about one of the worst, like the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And then going to like, this action movie about fucking dinosaurs.
They invented a new sound system for the movie, DTS. That's crazy. I didn't know that. And then the last thing that I read that was pretty outstanding, but I think it's kind of pretty, it's probably pretty standard for today, but when they were doing the CGI for the T-Rex in the rain, it took 6 hours for a frame. And that's fucking insane. One frame took 6 hours.
But that's why.
What do they mean by like frame though?
One frame of animation, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems I don't know. I'm not sure if I can believe that. Like 6 hours for one frame.
Right, that's like I read that and I was like, that's insane.
But they're working with computers from 1993.
Yeah, but I mean, like the T-Rex though was an actual animatronic. It wasn't just CGI.
It was both. Basically, any time you see a part of its body, it's an animatronic. But usually, when you see the full body, it's CGI.
Okay, all right.
And CGI always looks best in like the lower lighting CGI is in, the better it looks, which is why the CGI on the T-Rex still looks great today, whereas the Gallimimus Stampede, when it's in full sunlight, that looks pretty dead.
Or like the first Bronchiosaurus that they see, like that thing looks fucking brutal now. That's like the rhino from Jumanji.
Oh, it's not that bad, but yeah, it's definitely dated.
So it broke a lot of records. It led the way for a lot of like ways of making movies and stuff, and when it held the highest grossing box office until the Titanic.
Yeah, I think it was Titanic. Yeah, Titanic.
And then after Titanic was the Avatar, because that would be funny if it was two James Cameron movies that just
sorry, I got it mixed up. It was Jurassic Park. Then when they re-released Star Wars special editions, that briefly retook it, and then that was taken by Titanic.
Okay.
Interesting.
And then, what did Avatar? Was that the one that beat out Titanic?
I don't know. It might be.
Because I know Avatar, whenever it came out, it was the highest grossing.
Yeah.
I just know that they were both by
James Cameron.
James Cameron, yeah. So.
Well, James Cameron is fucking great, man.
Yeah. He has quite a few good movies. I guess Titanic and Avatar are like two of the biggest, but
the Terminators.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot he did.
Yeah,
Terminator.
see, I don't even. I never saw Avatar and Titanic.
You never seen them?
I've seen Titanic. I just not a big fan of it.
Titanic is a legit good movie, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's just an all-around good movie. Like, there's nothing bad about the movie, which I feel just makes it a good movie, like overall. Like you can't fault it for anything.
I don't know.
It
did nothing for me. Didn't tickle my fancy.
There's not enough boobies in it for Mike.
But there was a full-on naked chick in it.
Yeah, there was. After I say that, I forgot. And that's where the meme "Draw me like one of your French girls" came from.
Yep. So, anyways, Eric, tell us about the difference between the book and the movie.
Well, first of all, Michael Crichton as an author, his strength is he has really, really good ideas, and he was really, really into science and into what's cutting edge with science.
One little thing about Michael Crichton is that like he has a fucking PhD, like an MD from like medical school.
Yeah, he legit.
I didn't fucking know that. That's fucking crazy.
He was legit a doctor, pretty much.
Yeah, and that Universal or whatever studios, like before his book was even published, they bought the rights for it for like $2 million in 1990.
Yeah, like
is insane.
Book unseen, just based on the concept, basically.
Yeah,
but it's a good concept for a movie, but like for like marketing and like what kids like and shit, great idea.
Yeah, but so his strength is the science and the ideas and being on the cutting edge of technology. Like there was a movie that in I think 1980 that he wrote and also directed called Looker. And in it, there's a high-tech office building that has doors that open by retinal scan. And this was something that didn't exist at the time. It was just something that was on the drawing board and people thought might be theoretically possible. So Michael Crichton put it in this movie 10 years before it actually existed. Also, he wrote another movie called Westworld, which is a fucking fantastic movie.
Oh, and that's now has a fucking HBO series.
And now has an HBO series.
Okay.
Damn, this guy is just amazing, I guess.
Crichton.
But Westworld also has the first ever instance of CGI in a movie ever. Why are you acting like an asshole?
I don't know. I'm just trying to be energetic, you know?
Well, it's coming across really.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. Just first CGI. What was the first CGI, Eric? I'm sorry.
The movie is about. Anyways, I don't want to get into this tangent about Westworld because it's a really, really good movie. You should just watch it. But this one malfunctioning robot you briefly see through his point of view, like through his eyes, and like what you're seeing through his eyes is all CGI.
That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
And when did Westworld come out originally?
I think like late 70s.
And that was the first time CGI was ever used? Holy shit.
Westworld.
So I think 70, I want to say 76, I think.
But
anyways, getting back to your initial question, which was the difference between the book and the movie.
1973. Yep.
73, wow, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, his strength is not characters. Almost everybody in the book Jurassic Park is an unlikable asshole, with the exception of pretty much just Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler. Like, they're okay, but everybody else in the book is a fucking dick. Even John Hammond, like the movie, they made him into this nice, like, kind of lovable old man bouncing around and talking about how much he loves dinosaurs. And
like the dinosaur Walt Disney.
Yeah, and we had the flea circus. Can you see the fleas, Mummy? But in the book, he's just this... In the book, he's just this total arrogant asshole who's just out for money.
Interesting.
And Malcolm... in the book is just completely insufferable. Like he makes good points, but in the movie Jeff Goldblum makes him into a likable character, whereas in the book he just comes across as a self-absorbed douche. And the other main difference in the book is they changed a lot of who lives and who dies.
Well, okay, so quickly, Malcolm, the Jeff Goldblum, Malcolm.
Yeah.
He is self-absorbed, and he is a douchebag in the movie, but I think you just kind of like him because it's fucking Jeff Goldblum. And you love to hate Jeff Goldblum. And I don't know, I don't really think that's really like a bad idea for the professor character to have him be like obsessed with money. I think it's just Hollywood.
You mean for Hammond's character?
Yeah, the professor.
Yeah. He's not a professor, but okay.
I'm pretty sure he's some kind of doctor.
No, he's just
an entrepreneur.
He has to have some kind of science background.
I thought he just owned the fucking engine or whatever, the genetic modification company.
Yeah, he's just like a money guy.
Okay. Regardless, I don't know. Like it just kind of makes it does make sense to have him just be a shitty guy out for money because he's a businessman. Like so they made like the Hollywood more kid friendly decision, and they made him more bubbly and more hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
I love the part where he just screams, "Please!"
What? When?
You know what I'm talking about? It's like they're trying to like. It's when like the movie or the park is shut down because of fat guy
Dennis Nedry.
Dennis Nedry. And like it's just the things just keep going. I'm not. You gotta say the magic word.
Oh, dude, that's actually Samuel L. Jackson's character who screams that.
I thought it was him. He has a moment where he screams something.
Okay, you're thinking of but anyway, Samuel L. Jackson is awesome in this movie too. There's this like chain smoking computer expert who's like fucking cynical as hell. And there's this part when they first realize that Nedry's like sabotaged them. He goes over to like Nedry's computer and he like sees all like the candy bar wrappers and stuff, and he's just like he like sweeps it all onto the floor and he's like, "What a disgusting slob." But
no, he screams Grant. That's what it is.
When the Velociraptors are breaking in.
Yeah, that's my favorite part with him because he yells it so weird. So who lives and who dies in the movie / book?
Well, you want to know what's different from the book?
Yeah,
in the movie.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, the lawyer.
We should have that for all of our fucking podcasts because we always spoil everything.
The lawyer who gets eaten by the T-Rex very early on in the movie, he actually survives the book. The hunter who gets taken out by the Velociraptor, he survives. But you know that Dr. Wu, that Asian doctor who just has a very small role in Jurassic Park, but then a bigger role in Jurassic World?
Yeah.
He has a bigger role in the book, and he gets killed. And also Hammond gets killed, the old man.
Shit.
Really?
How does Wu die?
How does Hammond die?
Oh, yes.
You know those really tiny little dinosaurs that they introduce in the Lost World? Yeah.
Yeah, the one that eat the little girl?
Yeah. He basically falls down a cliff and hurts his leg, and then they see that as him being, like, wounded, so they all, like, pounce on him.
That fucking sucks. Holy shit.
What about Dr. Wu?
Dr. Wu, there's a part where they're all basically trapped in this one building, and there's velociraptors surrounding them, and the chick, Dr. Sadler, is distracting them so that I think Grant can go to a building just to turn the power back on, like in the movie.
Yeah.
And some of the raptors get onto the roof, and she's not aware of this, and he opens the door to try and warn her, and it like jumps on him from above.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say though, those little dinosaurs, like I don't know how anyone fucking dies from those. Like just start snapping their necks.
Dude, if there's enough of them,
like, there's like a swarm.
Yeah, like
dude, I think
in the second one, there's like 15 to 20 of them just like jumping on this little girl.
Yeah, and the little girl, because it's a little girl. But I would just start like booting them.
Yeah, but he's also but it's a little girl, and then in the book it's a frail old man with a broken ankle.
Yeah, like okay, I know, but like I think I could survive a little dinosaur attack.
Mike, think of the oldest man you know, and then drop him into a pit, break his ankle, and sick those on him, and then play that scenario in your head.
Yeah, no, I see him dying. I see the little girl dying, but me, I just start booting him.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't attack anyone else in any of the movies for a reason, right?
Yeah, it's true. Poor little girl. She's just on vacation with her super rich parents.
Yeah, they shouldn't have fucking been there. Like
they have like not 70, but like 7 people there with their little like picnic on this island. Like, how fucking rich are they? Like,
wasn't it just like their bodyguards?
It's like 2 chefs and bodyguards, and like there's like a
maid
and
then like the crew for the yacht or whatever.
Yeah, like I don't know how fucking rich are you?
Like, and the fact that they didn't care that their little girl just went running off on this fucking island that has no civilization.
No civilization, and like they didn't see any dinosaurs. Like no giant brachiosaurus, no like the pterodactyls flying around. Like they're just
all right. Steven Spielberg, we're punching holes in your plot here.
That little girl did not have to die.
Yeah, fucking sadistic bastard.
But one thing I wanted to bring up about the first movie is the whole point of the movie and book is basically to prove chaos theory. And essentially, the more complex a system is, the more likely it is to fail.
But it only failed because Fatso made it fail.
But he's the failure.
Well, but here's the thing. Hammond basically Nedry overbid for the project. Basically, he took on more work and he wanted to be paid more, and Hammond refused. That led to him being courted by a rival and accepting an offer to steal. But his plan would have gone off without a hitch, but there was also the storm. So that, it's a combination.
Why didn't he just fucking wait?
It's a combination, but he had to get to the boat to get the embryos onto the boat before the boat left.
Yeah.
So he's like, I did the test run. It took me 20 minutes. You got to give me 15. You got to give me at least 15 minutes. And he's all like freaking out, like, anybody want a soda or something? Because I've only had sweet stuff. I was gonna get something salty. I finished debugging the phones, and I wanted to let you know that system's going to be compiling for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So some of the minor systems, they might go on or off, but it's nothing to worry about. It's just a simple thing. And then I've seen that movie way too many times.
Yeah, the fact that you knew that whole monologue.
No, but yeah, so like that's chaos theory. It's just like if something can go wrong, it will go wrong.
It's not that. It's more that like the more complex, the more factors you introduce into something, the more likely that there's going to be fuck ups.
Yeah, like what you're referring to is called Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will.
Fucking that's another movie we should do a podcast on. Interstellar.
What's Interstellar?
Interstellar.
I've seen
like the guy going out in space and then.
Oh yeah, because there's no other movies where a guy goes out in space.
I don't know how to fucking describe it, because then like he can't get home because it's been like 300 years or some shit because of like gravity differences and shit.
Oh, is that the one with Matthew McConaughey?
All right, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that was a good movie. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. It's sad, but
it's
good.
Very sad, and it's about Murphy's Law. But anyways, also chaos theory. No, now I'm thinking about the fucking butterfly effect. A butterfly flapping its wings in Japan causes a fucking hurricane in America. Thanks, Japan.
Jesus. Kill your damn butterflies, Japan.
Which, that one is just fucking ridiculous. Like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
That was the one with Ashton Kutcher, right?
No, it does. It's kind of the same type of thing. It's like small changes eventually lead to big changes.
Yeah, I thought, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it made sense to me because, like, every little different scenario had a huge impact on his life. Like, the only one I remember is them putting a fucking bomb in the mailbox. It blows up, and then he wakes up, and he's like 25, and he has no arms.
Yeah, that one's fucked up.
And I'm just like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck? Because, like, he went through one scenario where he left the bomb in the mailbox, and it, like, killed someone. He was in jail or prison.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was...
I guess that theory makes sense. It's just when I think about like the definition or whatever the butterfly and stuff. It's like, no, but I see what they're getting at.
Well, yeah, the butterfly is just an example. It's not like it's real.
Its wings is pushing the winds and blah blah blah. But anyways, the butterfly effect. I love the part where he. So Eric, I don't know if you saw it, but it's a fucking dark movie.
It is. It's very dark.
Like the two of the main characters are made to like fuck each other in the basement by the girl's daughter.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
And the brother is super pissed off and jealous that it's not him fucking the daughter, like his sister. So anyways,
what?
Yeah. The movie's fucked
wasn't
up.
Like their dad that made them do it in the basement because he's making child porn for the internet. He's making
child porn, yeah. So
they're like, oh yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
My favorite part is he goes back in time to that point, and so he has like control over his younger self, and he just starts like, listen here, you little fucking sick bastard. Like, you're going to start treating your kids right, or I'm going to fucking kill you. And the dad's, like, freaking out, man, because, like, this kid is, like, standing up to him and shit. That movie, like, that part, like, I was, like, clapping. I was like, hell yeah, man. Anyways. Let's get back on the topic of Jurassic Park, because I feel like we barely talked about it. But
Eric's done a lot of talking about it.
Yeah, so we'll start with you, Garrett. Have you seen all 4 movies?
I've seen 1, 2, and 4. I haven't seen the Lostest World.
So what was your favorite of what you've seen?
Basically just because of recency bias, I'm gonna say Jurassic World.
That's fair.
Because it's the most recent one, and I think it was well done.
I love that question mark at the end because
I mean
that's perfect.
I think it was a good movie.
It is good, but it's is it good? I don't know.
I mean, I thought it was good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it.
I thought Goonies were good enough.
Dude, Goonies was a fucking great movie.
Well, the thing with Jurassic World is it has a lot of bad in it, that's stuff that like doesn't make sense, but it's entertaining. Like the one part that fucking drove me mad was
the raptor nodding at the guy. That's so fucking dumb.
Like, just have the raptor understand him and run off and go attack the. Don't have it like nod and then he nods back and then the raptor nods to the woman and then the woman nods to him. Like, it was stupid.
Maybe that's how you don't know how raptors act in the wild. Maybe that's how they act to their alpha.
Also, briefly,
yes, they have human mannerisms.
Eric, quickly, what's the CEO of Dunder Mifflin?
David Wallace.
Briefly in it, in Jurassic World, David Wallace is in it. And
you've met him.
I was David Wallace's kid's camp counselor. I met that guy.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Andy Buckley.
Which is awesome. Because you said he was a really nice guy in real life too, right?
He was super nice. None of us at the camp recognized him at all, and everyone was asking me like, "Who is he? Who is he?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then one day, I just was like, "That's David Wallace. Like, that's fucking David Wallace."
Just walk up to him and be like, "Hello, David Wallace."
So.
But you got to tell him like the best part though.
So like I was his little kid's counselor, and his nephew I've known like since the kid was so young, like, and he's been going to that camp forever. So I was like, yo, get your uncle here, man. Like, that's David Wallace, right? He's an actor. And he's like, yeah, I'll go get him. And so like I got a picture taken with him, and I was like, my name's Mike. Like, do the line, and he went like, Michael. Like, he did like the pissed off David Wallace Michael thing from The Office.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I always was like, if I ever met a celebrity, I'm not gonna lose my mind, but like I lost my shit, man. Lost it. I was not cool in front of him at all.
He's not even like a super A-list actor.
I know, he's like a B-list, and I lost my shit, man. I also love The Office. So.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it better. Like, if you didn't care about The Office, it'd be like, whatever. But, we loved that show, so that does make it really cool that you met him.
Yeah, I was not cool. What were you going to ask?
I know I was going to ask, like, I don't know, when else are we ever going to bring this up? Anybody else have any meeting or interacting with celebrities stories?
Nope.
No. You've never met anybody. You've never met anybody remotely famous?
Oh, well. One time I was delivering to this hotel, and there was like a huge like rodeo in town.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in the elevator, and I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but someone else jumps in the elevator, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's..." And then like they say his name, and I'm just like, apparently he's like a fucking like top tier bull rider.
Oh, and I didn't know who the fuck on the rodeo circuit.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know who this guy is, but they were like, because it was a family that walked in. They're like, "Oh my god, you did so well," because it was after the rodeo, and yeah, I was like, I don't know who this guy is.
Did you freak out? And you're like, "Take this pizza, man, it's yours."
No, but like he seemed like a nice guy. He was very courteous.
See, I like hearing the stories where celebrities are nice about it. Like, I'm sure everyone has their bad days, and
right.
And I'm sure there's celebrities that are always dicks, and there's celebrities that are always nice. But like, I guess I understand both ways, but I like the nice stories better.
Like, wasn't it Marilyn Manson that like drew like "fuck you" on his forehead so that paparazzi couldn't publish his photos?
Probably.
That's hilarious.
That's amazing. Eric, did you ever meet anyone, Eric?
Well, I have a story actually similar to Garrett's story as far as meeting goes. As far as talking to celebrities, I've exchanged emails / Facebook messages with Sal the stockbroker from the Howard Stern Show and the brunette from Tattoo. But in terms of actually meeting in person, I've mentioned before on the podcast that I went to anime conventions way back in the day, like early 2000s. And at one of them, I still don't, to this day, I don't know who the guy is. But it was like a quiet moment. Most of the people at the con were watching some movie that they were premiering, and we didn't want to. So we were hanging out with all these artists. And at one point, I was talking to this mid-40s Japanese guy for a good 20 minutes, and he was grilling me on, like, what anime was popular among people my age in Canada, and we just talked about shit like that and anime in general. And then after, we said goodbye and he fucked off somewhere, one of the younger artists was like, "Do you know who that was?" And I was like, "No." And he said the guy's name, and I don't remember it. I don't know who he was, but apparently he was some, like, big shot anime creator.
All you need to know is like what anime he created.
I don't know.
God, and Eric.
This was
come on, Eric.
Should have fucking
and this was 17 years ago.
It could have been like Akira Toriyama or like one of the guys on the Gynax or something.
This guy could have fucking made that one very good anime. Enter anime title here.
What did you say to Sal?
Basically, I messaged him on Facebook, and I was asking him, this was a couple years ago when he was touring, and I asked him, like, when is he coming to Toronto, and he told me when, and he was like, "I hope to see you there." And I was like, "Oh, cool, man, thanks. I hope I can get out and see the show." And then I told him that I loved his prank calls, and he said I appreciate it, and that was about it.
That's really cool. That's actually really cool.
Did you ever see his show, actually?
No, I never actually saw his show.
He's like looking out there. He's got like a sign like Eric. Like
he's like, and then like after the show, he's just like, "Eric wasn't here," and then he just like breaks down crying.
I was gonna have him come on the show. Quickly, before we get back on Jurassic Park, I went to go see Hollywood Undead when they came to Toronto with a buddy, and it was a super small venue. So there was like a part where everyone was in line that they came out. and they went to like a bar that was down the road, and we just all like watched them walk past us, and like some kids were like, "We love you" and shit, and I was just like, "Oh my god." But then at night, me and my buddy were having a cigarette, and we were beside some guy, and we didn't really talk to him. But then when Hollywood, because this was in between Hollywood Undead and the starting band, they get on stage, and like my buddy's like, "Dude, like look what that guy's wearing, like Charlie Sheen." He's like, "That was the guy that was smoking beside us," and we were like, "Oh, we didn't talk to him. We're so dumb."
Like,
I know.
Scene, man.
I know. It's my favorite one too, and I was like,
and he was right next to you, and you didn't recognize him.
Because like in the smoking area, we like, because me and Robert are both very antisocial. We were like tucked away, kind of in a corner, and he was there too. And yeah, it was him.
Man, that sucks.
Really upset that like
do you actually know what their faces look like?
Like I mean, do, and
I don't because
because Eric, this is one of these bands where they wear masks.
Yeah,
and I do, and I thought I did, but then like I'm at the concert and I'm not even looking out for him. Like I was like, I was so mad.
Yeah, that sucks.
So, anyways, Eric, what was your favorite? Which ones have you seen, and which one's your favorite?
I've seen all four.
I'm actually shocked that you saw number 4.
Yeah,
and
surprised.
Yeah, right.
I would rank them as follows from best to worst. Original, 4, 3, 2.
Oh my god, higher than I thought he would place it.
Wow.
But would you say 4 is a good movie, or are the last 3 just shit?
No, the way I would put it is this: 1, the original is one of my favorite movies of all time. 4 is a good movie. 3 is an okay movie, and 2 is a shit movie. That's how I would put it.
All right.
Yeah, I would put them in the same order. 1 is just the best because it's a great movie. It's not one of my favorites or anything. 4, it has its problems, but it's an action movie. You turn off your brain, and if you're entertained, you're entertained. Like if it's good, it's good, right?
I also thought 4 was really cool. It's just like the science and like tech they had, like those rolling glass balls that you took tours in.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool because it's like unbreakable glass, even though it broke.
Yeah,
but yeah, whatever.
Even though it broke. 3. I like the Spinosaurus. Everyone got so mad when it like kicked the shit out of a T-Rex, but I was like, I thought the Spinosaurus was fucking sick, and that's the only reason why I like that movie. And then 2 is a fucking complete shit show. 2, the only good part about it is when the T-Rex is just interacting with the city, and I'm pretty sure the whole movie was written to just have the T-Rex in the city.
Well, but even then, it's kind of just like a half-assed Godzilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it has it like, it pushes over a bus, and there's some like, it drinks from the pool, and it eats that dog. And
I feel like if whoever wrote the plot, they had to have recognized that this was strangely close to Godzilla
/ King Kong.
Yeah, but
it's the same plot as King Kong.
Yeah, because it's the same way King Kong got to the island, except this one, it's a fucking T-Rex. Or the same way King Kong got to New York, or wherever King Kong ends up. Because he just ends up, he's like, King Kong rides in a boat, right? Same way?
They bring him over on a boat, and he's in New York.
Yeah, so
it was actually
weird. I don't like the writing in this, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is it was actually the same guy who wrote the screenplay to the first movie.
See, that's what is so surprising.
So he got fucking lazy as shit.
I read that before the podcast, and I was like, it's the same writer? Because usually when they make sequels to movies, or like back in the day in like the 90s and shit, it was never the same crew, and that's why it always fucking sucked.
But here's the thing, though, is the first movie he clearly... Like, yes, he did change a lot from the book, but the book was still a very strong outline, whereas there is a Lost World, the book, as well. But
Steven Spielberg made Michael Crichton write it at gunpoint.
But then he used almost nothing from the book. Like the book is pretty much 95% different from the movie.
So what it sounds like is that the screenwriter is actually just garbage. He got lucky once because he ripped off a book.
Could be.
Well,
but the funny thing is,
like he can put someone else's work into movie form really well, but then his own idea is not so good, and that's still a pretty good trait to have. I don't think
I guess.
I don't.
Well, but here,
stop making sense, Mike.
Here's the thing, though, is there's this site online. I don't remember the name of it now, but it's basically a website where you can read early drafts of movie scripts. Yeah. Which can be interesting because often they get different writers, they hire and fire different writers, and the original draft is very, very different from the final movie.
Yeah.
So I read the original draft of the Jurassic Park movie, which was not written by that guy. It was written by the husband and wife who wrote the screenplay for the movie Hook. And
Rufio!
Rest in peace, Robert Williams.
And it is goofy as fuck. Like there's a part where like Nedry doesn't steal DNA, he steals actual eggs and like covers them in foam, and there's like a slapstick sequence where he's carrying the eggs through the hallway and hiding from the hunter guy. And the end of the movie,
first movie or the second movie?
The first movie.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
And then the ending to it is when they're escaping in the helicopter, the fucking T-Rex bites the tail of the helicopter, and Dr. Sattler sprays it in the face with a fire extinguisher to make it let go.
God.
This sounds terrible.
What the fuck? That would not be the legend that it is today.
Yeah, thank Christ. He told them to take a hike and had this other guy rewrite it.
See... Okay, like, I get what they're coming from, because they were probably like, oh, it's dinosaurs, kids' movie, so they made it more...
Goofy,
and, like, that's honorable, I guess, but, like, I guess, I don't know, because, like, Spielberg wanted something else, right? He wanted to make this an epic, and he put so much effort into making it as good as it is, so... Maybe they just had the wrong idea because they hadn't seen any production or anything. They were just write a script for us.
And they made but they were fucked in the head though, because first of all, there's
Hook
some other things
just not good.
Well, there's some other things I'm remembering about it too. Is that they wrote out the character Dr. Malcolm, like the best character in the movie. He wasn't in their draft. And they created random other characters. Like they made the lawyer a much more synthetic, important character. And the lawyer's boss is a black guy with a prosthetic arm.
Okay, yeah, like why?
But like these aren't. Why? Yeah, why would they stray this far from the book? 'Cause I'm assuming none of these characters are in the book except the lawyer.
The lawyer is, but the prosthetic arm guy?
Yeah, the prosthetic arm guy, yeah.
No, that's somebody they just made up.
Yeah, exactly. Like why would you stray so far from the book? Like
because they're fucked. Like I mean, look at Hook. It is not a good movie.
Yeah, Hook is fucking wacko, dude.
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those movies that it's just like there's no other word for it. It's fucking weird and not in a good way.
Weird. As a child, I didn't get it. It was so out there. It was so random that like it could never hold my attention.
And now as an adult, you still don't get it.
Also,
no, now as an adult, it's just like, this is fucking garbage.
Also, this is going to make me sound like a huge pervert, but what really pissed me off as a kid about Hook is when I was a kid, I had a huge crush on
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, I thought she was so hot in the cartoon.
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, so I was prepared for the live-action movie to have some like smoking hot blonde be Tinkerbell, and instead it's this goofy ass like brunette with a mop on her fucking head.
Yeah.
And kid me was vastly disappointed.
Vastly. Garrett's just speaking.
Oh shit, that's funny. I'm looking at Hook or Tinker because I didn't remember Tinkerbell from Hook. That would disappoint me as a child too.
So there's a cosplayer that did a Tinkerbell cosplay.
Oh yes.
Actually, really surprisingly, I showed Garrett this exact cosplayer today on Instagram.
Hit that quick follow.
And she even has like the Tinkerbell like facial expressions.
Yeah. Her name is Kerrigan Taylor. She's very attractive and she does very good work. Check her out.
Very good twerk.
Very good twerk.
Hey now.
Let's keep this what dreams are made of.
Let's keep this podcast PG-13, which is the rating of Jurassic Park.
Ho ho.
Ho.
All right. Can we stop with the cheese now?
So I told you my favorite part when he goes Grant. I also like hold on your butts.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Honestly, the end scene where the raptors come, when the T-Rex comes and fucks up the raptors, fucking badass, man. Yeah. What are your favorite parts of Jurassic Park?
Do you guys know who Richard Schiff is?
No.
All right. Well, he was an actor in Jurassic Park, and currently I'm trying to stall because I forgot who he played in Jurassic Park. But Richard Schiff is also one of my favorite characters from my favorite TV series, The West Wing. And
he's in The Lost World, not the first one.
Yeah, he's in the second one. When did the second one come out?
97, I think.
Yeah.
97. He was Eddie Carr.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well,
he's one of the good hunters.
Yeah. He was one of the good guys, and then he dies in the RV, helping them escape from the T-Rex whenever they have a little baby.
Oh man, that movie's so bad. Yep.
That was one of my least favorite parts because I love Richard Schiff.
Well, what's your favorite part of Jurassic Park?
Yeah, what's your favorite part of Jurassic Park?
My favorite part was the Scooby-Doo-esque run and hide in Jurassic World at the end with the kids and the raptors.
Yeah, that's great, where they're like closing that shiny kitchen drawer and it like busts its head open on it.
Yeah, that was funny.
I really like that whole build up with the music where they're
while she's running with the flare.
No,
we're talking about Jurassic 4.
At the very beginning when they get to Jurassic Park and he's like, "Welcome to Jurassic Park," and like that music cues in and there's like the dinosaurs and you can just see like they're so happy to see them. That's a good moment.
That's a good song.
That is a good song. It's
tune.
A very good song.
That has a special meaning for some people I know.
Julie.
What did they have sex to it?
No, they got like married to it.
Julie walked down the aisle to it.
Yeah.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Well, were they just really big fans of that movie, or they just liked the song?
Both.
She likes it.
Pretty sure
we walked.
I think she really likes Jurassic Park.
We walked into their not a recital. What's the word?
Rehearsal.
Reception. We walked into the reception to a Kingdom Hearts song.
Oh yeah, all the groomsmen and the groom walked into the Kingdom Hearts melody.
Yeah. It was a kind of a nerdy wedding, I guess. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, like, Kingdom Hearts had such a huge impact on me and my brother's life. It was like our favorite RPG ever.
It's good.
Dude, Kingdom Hearts was fucking amazing. You can't say it's just good.
Maybe we'll have a podcast.
Fuck you, Mike.
No, it is really good. It's okay. Like, you guys.
There's so much story.
This is what we always fight about because I just say things are okay or things are good, and
Yeah,
like that's
like,
as high as I go.
Yeah, like fucking use other words than okay.
So no, but
like,
if I'm saying good, you guys should be like, oh.
You should say great or fantastic or magnificent or awesome.
Well, I save those words for my all-time favorite things.
What's your all-time favorite video game? No, I already know that.
What is it?
It's Lisa?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know it then.
Chrono Cross.
Fuck, I did know that.
Yep. We did this. We did a podcast on this.
Yeah, we did.
So, Eric, what's your favorite part of Jurassic Park?
Honestly, like, I love that movie so much, I can't even really pinpoint one part.
You like the part where Jeff Goldblum is shirtless on the back of the truck.
And then he's fucking...
And he's all, like, sweaty.
Chick.
He's all sweaty and wet.
Anyways, probably... I don't know. Once the Raptors get involved, that's when it gets really, really good. That whole sequence with them in the kitchen and then the Raptors in the control room, that's good. I also like some of the like weird, funny moments, like when they're watching that whole video explaining like what the park is.
DNA,
Mr. DNA. Oh, Mr. DNA, where did you come from? From your blood.
From your blood. Yeah, he's got like a weird like cowboy accent or some shit.
Yeah.
You guys even know what a cowboy accent is?
The DNA has a weird accent. There you go. Jesus. Jesus.
What the fuck was that?
A cowboy accent.
That was just a woo-wee. Like, it was nothing.
Like, what is it, hot out? Or is that a big cow or something? Like, what were you woo-wee?
That, or like you see a pretty woman or anything, man.
That dog.
I live in Texas, and I've never heard that.
You've never once heard somebody go woo-wee?
Nope.
Well, movies and TV have lied to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
like, do you think I ride a fucking horse to work and to school?
Also.
No, but I mean, you're talking to Canadians here. Half your country thinks that we live in like igloos and minus 40 weather all year.
That's only a small portion of us.
Yeah, like 90% of Canadians live on like the border.
Like 10%. Oh yeah, 90% are on the border. Question though, is Westworld a Western but with robots?
Yes.
Okay, Westworld is basically, you can see it's actually a lot similar ideas to Jurassic Park. It's a futuristic amusement park where guests can choose between like Western world or medieval world, and they go there and there's all these robots that you can have like guns fights with, but it's all safe because the robots are programmed to always like lose to humans and never hurt anybody. And what basically happens is this one robot starts malfunctioning and basically becomes like a relentless killer for real. And again, this is weird that it's going to bring up The Simpsons, but do you remember the episode? I was just going
to say, this is like the Itchy and Scratchy Land episode, but with Westworld and Jurassic Park?
Yes, but do you remember the episode where Principal Skinner is tracking down Bart when he skips?
Oh my god, yeah, that's Westworld.
And the part where he like walks through the stream,
yeah,
and also the really like intense music that's playing during that whole sequence,
yeah.
that's all from Westworld.
I love that part because he's just like walking into the river, and he gets like, it looks like he gets like swept away, and Bart's just like, oh okay, but like,
and then he just like walks out the other side. Because that also, see, this is another thing, like Michael Crichton was such a genius in some ways and so influential because basically that character, that like relentless silent killer who like just stalks and has no emotion, that was the basis, admittedly, for a lot of the early slasher villains. Like I know John Carpenter said Michael Myers was directly based on that character from Westworld.
Oh, okay. So Westworld's been referenced like 10 million times and we don't even know it.
Exactly, yeah.
I was gonna... Sci-fi robots malfunctioning. There's one time where I was writing a science fiction story and I thought it was really good until I realized that, like, the reason why the main character didn't like robots was the reason that the main character in iRobot didn't like robots. And I was like, fuck, I'm just ripping off iRobot. And I stopped writing
remind me, why didn't he like them? Didn't they like murder someone?
He's like in a
murdered
car.
His mentor.
He's in a car that's drowning, and there's like a little girl in it, and the robot saves him because he had a better chance of living through the accident.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, save the girl, save the girl.
Because it was all just based on like robot logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't get mad at fucking robots for that, man.
That's a movie that's good, but it could be so much better if they remade it. I
thought iRobot was already a pretty good movie.
It is good, but like they could make it better. It was just kind of meh.
I enjoyed it, but
I'm actually shocked that you've seen it.
I would give it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
that's about what I'd go to. Not great, but good.
It kind of falls off with like the Jesus stuff. Like they didn't need to include that.
Where was the Jesus stuff?
There's like a chosen one, and there's like murals, and like I think they think Will Smith is Jesus, but then it's like a robot or something.
Will Smith has like that robotic arm. Because he like lost his arm, so he got a robot arm.
Yeah, but there's a lot of God stuff in there, and I just think
Will Smith was robot God.
I think they just didn't need the God stuff.
Well, who was Robot Satan then? Was it Robot Satan from Futurama?
Robot Satan? No, it was the mainframe.
It was Hedonism Bot.
It was the mainframe. Which that was a twist I kind of didn't see coming. Was like they briefly introduced like this central computer system within the cops or whatever, and you're just okay, it's the future. They're just talking about it, and then that turned out to be the villain. I didn't see it coming as...
It was like in Tron, the main processing unit.
Processing,
just was the villain.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
But you were talking about two different movies.
No, I was talking about iRobot.
Yeah, but Garrett was talking about Tron.
Yeah, well, I was just saying processing like how the guy in Tron says processing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to confuse you.
Okay. God damn it, Mike. Wasn't that funny, Mike? Like, I don't know why you're laughing.
I don't know. We're just really... I think we're finally really opening up on the podcast, and that was fucking hilarious.
God. Do I need to tell my life story now?
No.
So, at 3 years old, my mom left me at the doorstep of a firehouse, and I was raised by the state.
No, I was just saying, like, we're becoming looser, Garrett.
I mean, sure.
Okay, I like the banter of this episode. Let me know in the comments if you like the banter in this episode.
And subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Are we wrapping up?
Eric also has started a Let's Play series that's like, I don't know, 8 episodes in or some shit. 6.
New uploads every single day.
So check out that shit. You know, me and Garrett are going to start a League of Legends series on this channel.
Maybe. I don't know if I can play that much with Mike. That hurt him. You can hear it.
I just don't know why do people say things sometimes. Anyways.
Winter wrap up.
Do you release videos even on Saturday and Sunday?
Some people will get that reference. Pardon me?
Jesus. Do you release new episodes even on Saturday and Sundays?
Every single day. New upload every single day.
There you go, guys. I answered your questions.
Wow.
Or Eric answered your questions. I asked them.
You asked the questions that they were asking.
Yep. Just think of me as your FAQ that does stuff without you needing to write it down.
And
all right, audience. Now we're gonna lock the doors and suck on each other's genitals till our jaws are as worn out as Rosie O'Donnell's fork.
Okay.
Woo! Oh damn, that was fucking hard.
That was gross. That was fucking disgusting. And you made me knock over my microphone. So I'm sorry if you fucking heard that.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I love that. It was great.
Because I've been trying to end this for like 5 minutes. So.
I know, me too. I'm trying to. Okay, goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.